Euron Greyjoy got y'all asses.
I'm the librarian, and I came to read.
So the first thing we see is Dragonstone, bitch, and we're here with Daenerys, girl. We're here with everybody, bitch. I'm talking about Daenerys, the Sand Snakes, the Queen of Goddamn Dorne. We had Lady fucking Olenna. Everybody's sitting around the goddamn table. Daenerys is talking about, yeah, my brother was stupid enough to believe that he had the support of all of Westeros. If he had a fucking dragon armies and shit like this, he would have tried to take Westeros and this shit would not have been good. Then she turned her motherfucking attentions to Varys' ass. And now let me tell you something, Daenerys, I'm gonna have to drag your ass throughout this whole recap, and I didn't think I would have to, but here we are. I'm gonna have to drag your ass because you already know, in the world of Game of Thrones, once you start feeling your pussy, once you start feeling like you're that girl, once you start feeling like you're invisible and shit like that, you end up getting your shit rocked. Something ends up fucking you up completely, girl. And I don't know where you getting this fucking attitude from, like you think you that girl. First of all, you took it up with Varys at this moment after y'all got through Dragonstone, after he helped your ass out, after he helped get Dorne and Lady Olenna fucking and Highgarden. How the hell just now when y'all reach Dragonstone, you gonna bring up your concerns of him working for the fucking Mad King and Baratheon and turn against their asses? Now is the time you wanna bring that shit up? You sound really stupid, Daenerys, and I love you, you're my favorite character, but you're gonna get your shit fucked up if you keep acting like this, girl. You need to get some sense in your head quickly. I don't know if Tyrion needs to drag your ass, but something has got to give before this blonde wig ends up being snatched by Cersei. You need to get your shit together. So Miss Red Pussy, Melissandre comes to motherfucking see Dany and just like, girl, the Red God is into you, honey. The Red God says she wants to ride your peen and shit like that. So Daenerys is like, girl, what's the tea? And Tyrion was like, girl, you said that shit about Stannis, the prince that was promised and shit like that. And look where Stannis ended up. And Melissandre was just like, girl, yes, the prince that was promised, that's what I need, and that's what the Red God wants, bitch. And then Daenerys is looking around like, bitch, you must not be talking to me because the last time I checked, I was a queen, bitch, not no prince, bitch. And then the translator, sickening ass Missandei comes in and just like, girl, what's the tea? What's the tea? In High Valyrian, girl, that doesn't mean that shit, what you talking about, honey. Prince is genderless, so it could be prince or princess. Dany ends up learning about Jon Snow, and I guess they're gonna try and align and shit like that. And then so Dany tells them to reach out to Jon Snow, girl, we got this shit for y'all, we can team up, blah, blah, we got dragons, we got Unsullied, everything, bitch. But you also need to bend the knee, and Tyrion's looking at her like, girl, what's the tea? And Daenerys, I'm gonna say this shit again. If you feel your pussy too quickly and too much, honey, if you feel like you're that girl at this moment, girl, if you feel like you're invincible, honey, the Game of Thrones writers will come and drag your wig from here to the Dothraki Sea, bitch. They'll put your ass right back in Essos. So, bitch, you need to be careful. You need to be careful. Okay, here comes Cersei's ass, acting like she's the Donald Trump of Westeros. She's saying, girl, you know what happened with the fucking Mad King, honey. You know what happened. Here comes the Mad King's daughter to destroy the fucking realm. Let me tell you something. Y'all might hate Cersei, as I did. I don't know if I still kind of hate her just because I don't want her on the fucking throne. I want to see Daenerys on the throne, but Daenerys is acting like a little child right now. And she is a child. We have to remember in the book, she's like a preteen, bitch. Like, she's a teenager. So that's why she acts like that. But you might have your qualms with Cersei, whatever the fuck you want to say, but girl, she's that girl, honey. Just like the media presents shit to you in a certain way, propaganda type of teeth, Cersei's doing that same thing in fucking King's Landing, and it's working, girl. It's working. Jaime had to pull one of the Tullys aside, I think it was, and said, girl, what's the tea? You gonna fight for them or fight for us? And it's interesting that Jaime is still on this kind of path with Cersei. I'm trying to figure out when he will see her as more cruel and end up either turning against her or killing her, whatever, even though I think Arya is going to dress up as Jaime and kill her. So they had asked Cersei, like, girl, we know you're sitting on the throne, we know you're everything, but bitch, last time somebody had full-grown dragons in fucking Westeros, they took over the whole fucking continent, and bitch, it was the Seven Kingdoms. It was Aegon who united the Seven Kingdoms, told all these hoes to bend the goddamn knee. So this bitch has dragons, honey. So what's the tea? How are you gonna stop that? And then so Cersei looks to the hand of the queen, and then he says, oh, we're working on that. And I was just like, okay, girl, that's kind of scaring me, but bitch, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm happy that we continue to get shady ass Lady Olenna back. There was one scene where Dany was like, I don't want to be the Queen of Ashes, and then girl, Lady Olenna came in like, girl, okay, that's cute. My granddaughter was queen, the most sickening queen that I ever known, okay? And what is she the queen of now, bitch? Ashes. Sit your ass down. But then Olenna and Daenerys came down and sat together, and Lady Olenna was telling her like, girl, you need to be a dragon. You want to know how I outlived all these men that surrounded me? Because I ignored their asses. And it's just like, I don't think that's the message right now that Daenerys needs to hear, to ignore Tyrion or to ignore her counsel, because that's the only thing that's honestly keeping her on whatever throne that she thinks she has right now. She has like some of my personality flaws where it's just like, if I see something that's out of line, out of order, and I don't agree with it, I'm gonna get on a dragon and I'm just gonna burn it up and I'm gonna be done with it. But when it comes to politics and shit like that, especially Westeros, that method does not work well like that. And Tyrion knows, he grew up around politics and shit. So for her to be hearing, oh girl, you're that girl, you are a dragon, just do whatever the fuck you want to do, I'm not feeling that shit, especially when it comes to what we'll find out later. So we see that Sir Jorah is still not using that Johnson & Johnson ointment that I sent him a long time ago. He's still not, you know, reaching out to Lubriderm or these other lotion companies to help with that ashy ass skin. But girl, he is fucked up completely from head to toe, honey. This grayscale is not fucking around with him, honey. The Grand Maester told his ass, girl, you gonna live, sis. You gonna live for about like a good 10, 20 years, honey. Sir Jorah was like, okay, that's cute if I live, but what about my mind? Like, when will the grayscale take my mind? That bitch said you got at least like 6 months, if that, bitch. Girl, she said, this cute for you. If you were a common citizen, girl, I would have sent your ass to the fucking Stoneman right the fuck now. But I'll let you stay one more day. I'll let you write your letters, whatever the fuck you have to do. But bitch, after that day, you got to go. Sam was just like, girl, what, aren't there any other possibilities? Like, girl, I saw this one girl with grayscale and it had been cured, so isn't that possible? And then the Grand Maester just dismissed it, just, it was too dangerous, blah, 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 whatever. Sam gonna save the whole universe, I'm telling you now. So Cersei and her hand went down to whatever, the catacombs, I think it is. They saw the, you know, skulls of dragons. During the Targaryen reign, I think even after the dragons had died off, they would have the skulls in the throne room just as a reminder, like, why they're that girl, you know what I mean? Why they're sitting on the fucking Iron Throne in the Seven Kingdoms, because of these dragons. So once Baratheon took that shit over, once Robert Baratheon got into that shit, you know, the Robert's Rebellion, all that shit, he had the fucking skulls removed into the catacombs, Cersei said, because they would make him look small. But Balerion the Black Dread, that is one of Aegon's. Aegon united the Seven Kingdoms. Girl, y'all have to do y'all research. If you don't know by now, girl, I'm sorry, but Aegon, he united Seven Kingdoms because he had dragons before they went fucking extinct. And so Balerion the Black Dread was his mount. It was almost like Drogon, but Balerion was big as fuck. Like, Black Dread was huge, honey. So they had his skull just sitting up there. And here comes the fucking hand saying, girl, we got a weapon for her ass. You know, we saw in the Colosseum, girl, that, you know, the spears wounding one of Daenerys' dragon, and if they can be wounded, they can be killed. And so, bitch, Cersei had pulled that motherfucking trigger, and it pierced right through the skull of that dragon. I'm over here so goddamn shook because Daenerys' cockiness coupled with Cersei's new weapon equals one of Daenerys' dragons gonna be fucked up, okay? They would not spend this money on this scene and include it in HBO shit to just be there, girl. She's gonna fuck our shit up, and I'm honestly about to cry because I don't want to see none of my fucking babies. Those are my babies, these dragons. One of these dragons or two are gonna be fucked up, okay? They're gonna be done, and I promise you it's probably gonna be because Daenerys did not listen to what Tyrion is saying. He's probably telling her, girl, don't bring your dragons out on the battlefield like that, bitch, just wide open. And if you do have them, bitch, they need to be flying above motherfucking cloud level and just spray these holes from a distance. Jaime's gonna charge into one of these dragons and I'm going to lose my fucking shit. I'm telling you that right now. So as usual, Lady Olenna is dragging. She doesn't understand what type of tactics you hoes are trying to use. What are we gonna just ask for the Iron Throne? You think that's what we have to do? Olenna was dragging. So the plan was to use the Tyrell, you know, Highgarden and Dorne armies to take King's Landing, to veer away from Cersei's propaganda of her saying that foreigners are coming to take the Iron Throne, because we still need Westeros' support. So if we have Westeros taking King's Landing, then that solves that problem. Tyrion was very smart when it comes to that, because I didn't even think about that shit, because we still do need the support of Westeros when it comes to putting Daenerys on the throne. So the plan was to use Westerosi armies, Highgarden and fucking Dorne, to take King's Landing while the Unsullied takes Casterly Rock. And that is like where the Lannisters hold their power, their gold, even though it is running out. All that shit is the ancestral seat of the Lannisters, so it'd be sickening to see that fucking battle. Hopefully they get that after all the bullshit later on I'll explain that they went through just now. Now y'all know I have to talk about this Grey Worm and Missandei scene. Missandei came in there like, girl, what's the tea, bitch? You wasn't even gonna tell me goodbye, bitch. You wasn't gonna tell me goodbye. You know you're gonna Casterly Rock and all types of shit. I don't even know when I'm gonna see your ass again, or if I will see you again. Grey Worm kind of just brushed it off. He was trying to hide his feelings and shit. And then Missandei was like, okay, girl, bye. She was like, okay, I'm done. I wish you good fortune, honey. I'm done. Grey Worm had said, Missandei. I said, oh. Oh, Jesus. I'd have been like, yes, daddy. Grey Worm. Oh, Jesus. Grey Worm was so goddamn fine. He had said, Missandei. Bitch, I would have shook. He said, please, bitch. He said, come here, honey. Bitch, I'm like, okay, what's that? He explained to her that all the Unsullied had all their fears and shit. He didn't fear anything until Missandei ass came into the picture. She's tugging at his heartstrings. He don't know what the fuck to do. Missandei had stripped that shit off of her and her titties were just sitting up there, bitch. She said, I want that peen, honey. I want that peen, honey. Them titties were sitting. She took off Grey Worm's shit with his fine ass. And then she reached for that belt, honey. She reached for that belt. And Grey Worm was like, no. And then Missandei was like, girl, I don't care. I just want to see you, honey. And she had looked down and she smiled. That must mean, girl, just when they were talking about when the Unsullied get cut, do they cut, this is what Daenerys said, do they cut the stones and the pillar? And girl, Missandei said she didn't know, but now she knows, bitch. And that smirk tells me that there's a pillar still left in the building, honey. And when I tell you that the pillar is going to be inserted in the places that it needs to be, I've been waiting all my life for this fucking scene. First of all, we gotta talk about how Grey Worm's ass is indeed fat. Grey Worm does have a fat ass, and I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about, but bitch, I wanna play with it. And that's my prerogative because my ass is gay as hell and I'm going to eat it as well. Grey Worm, you are fine as hell. But let me tell you something that was being eaten, and that's Missandei. Grey Worm had leaned his head down on there. I said, girl, you better do it, bitch. I can't do it. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to do it, but bitch, you better treat my girl Missandei pussy with all the type of respect that it needs. Grey Worm was in that pussy. So Sam thinks he might have found something to cure Ser Jorah, and he brought it to Grand Maester, and he's just like, girl, that shit's too dangerous. Sam is just headstrong, and he's like, bitch, I'm gonna do this shit anyway. Ser Jorah's writing a whole letter to Khaleesi, probably his last will and testament, like, girl, I got to go, sweetie. I'll see y'all in the afterlife, in the light of the seven type of tease. The stranger is coming for my ass, but maybe the mother or the father can, help my ass out when it comes to my judgment. It was those type of teas. And Sam came in there with a motherfucking jackhammer, honey. He came in there with a chainsaw, bitch. He came to cut off that motherfucking flesh like he was at the butcher shop. That shit was so goddamn nasty. Oh my gosh. I said, bitch, are they gonna cut from this? Oh, they should have never gave y'all a whole hour of fucking airtime so that y'all can fill our fucking minds with this nasty ass scenes. But she was popping all types of pimples, bitch. They said this procedure was gonna be dangerous. They said, girl, you need to hush your mouth up. We don't need nobody hearing us. Nobody knows that my ass is here right now, so you need to shut the fuck up. Okay, of course they popping pimples until, it seemed like they about to pop pimples into Arya's fucking dish that she's eating. Here comes how the fuck you pronounce his name? Popeye? I don't know, girl. But he ends up telling Arya, like, girl, why you over here playing around? Jon Snow is the king of the north, bitch. I don't know where the fuck your ass been, but bitch, he been the king of the north for quite some goddamn time. So, I mean, girl, I know you going to King's Landing, but girl, what's the tea? So Arya decides to turn her ass around. She said, I need to see my goddamn brother. All right, so then we go to Jon, and he gets a raven from the Citadel, bitch, and they're telling him that there's a bunch of goddamn dragon glass on Dragonstone. And Jon is just like, girl, I got a message from fucking Dragonstone that, Daenerys wants to team up and shit, like help take the throne from fucking Cersei. So, bitch, if I get that shit and I also get Sam telling me, who I trust with my fucking life, telling me that, bitch, there's a bunch of dragon glass on Dragonstone, so you need to take your ass and go there, bitch. Jon said he brought it to the lords. They're not having it. They're just like, girl, it's a Targaryen, bitch. We can't trust them bitches. And Sansa was over here just dragging his ass in public. Sansa, girl, you can't do this shit. Y'all have to stop doing this shit in public. Y'all need a unified front, and maybe it's Jon Snow's fucking fault too, because he probably does not go to Sansa beforehand, before he makes these revelations to the whole court. That's the first time that Sansa's hearing about this shit with everybody else. Y'all need to go behind the scenes, talk about this shit, fight behind the scenes, and then in public present a unified front so it doesn't look like y'all are, it's a civil war about to happen. That shit is dangerous as fuck. And so she was just dragging. She was like, girl, you can't go down there by yourself. Send somebody down there. Just like Jon Snow's like, rightfully so. Jon Snow's like, bitch, I'm a king, and only a king can really make them type of goddamn decisions. Like, we need to treat together for real. We need to sit down and talk about this shit with Daenerys. And then Sansa's like, girl, who you gonna leave in the north, bitch? And then Jon Snow was like, you. And then Sansa shut the fuck right up. Sansa shut her ass the fuck up. If this bitch, Sansa, if you want power, just take it. Just so you can shut the hell up. Just take it. You already know what happened last time. You just waited around expecting things to fall in your lap. Take the shit. And as soon as he said that shit to Sansa, bitch, you should see how Littlefinger's out here just smiling and kikiing and shit, bitch. Littlefinger's gonna die this season, mark my goddamn words. And I'm gonna tell you why his ass gonna die, because he's disrespectful as fuck. How the fuck you gonna go down into the crypt where Jon Snow is looking at the statue of his mother, I think it was Catelyn. He's just mourning all his family members that have passed away. Here come Littlefinger ass down there in some personal shit. He said, bitch, you shouldn't be here, girl. And Littlefinger's like, okay, so this is the thanks that I get? This is thanks that I get for saving your dumb ass in the Battle of the Bastards, bitch? Huh, okay. You know what? I loved your mother just like I love your sister. Bitch, she said, bitch, if you think about touching my goddamn sister, bitch, you're going to die. Bitch, you're gonna die. And that's the one thing, as the oldest brother in my family, you know, I have a younger brother, I have a younger sister. Like, we can argue, we can bicker behind closed doors and shit like that. We can do whatever the fuck we gotta do. But if you think you're gonna get your outsider built ass, and think you gonna come from my motherfucking siblings, bitch, you got another thing come. I don't care if I was just fighting with my motherfucking sister or brother a second ago, bitch. I'll beat your ass for you think you gonna comfort up. Bitch, I'll tell you that. They really just solidified that for at least the audience, that even though they are bickering, they are fighting, like they still love each other to fucking death. They still love each other no matter what, and that was good to see. I want Littlefinger ass to pass the fuck away. I'm sick of his ass. So Arya's out there in the motherfucking cold with this little ass fire, bitch. Let me tell you something. As soon as that horse started jumping around, nay, bitch, I'm moving. I'm getting my ass on and I'm moving, because the animals know when shit is coming before we do, bitch. So you should got your ass up right then, Arya. But honestly, this pack comes in, honey. This pack of wolves come in, bitch, they just barking and shit. I said, girl, Arya, girl, what's the tea, honey? What's the tea, honey? Bitch, you got the bitch, and she whipped out a needle, bitch. She said, bitch, which one of you hoes are coming from medical operation? Because, bitch, I got my needle for you hoes. And, bitch, here come Nymeria, bitch. Her old pet wolf, honey, her old pet direwolf that she had made run away so that Cersei would not kill her. What happened was Nymeria got a whole fucking pack. She got a whole group, honey. She's living out here in these woods, honey. Nymeria had recognized Arya and shit, and she was just like, come with me, let's go, let's go. And Nymeria looked at her, was just like, oh, girl, I don't want to. And she just ran away with her pack and shit. They all left. Arya did end up saying at the end, that's not you. But I watched after the episode, like inside the episode with the producers, and they said that it was Nymeria, but Arya was just like, that's not, what she meant by that's not you was that she meant that's not in Nymeria's personality to be domestic, follow people around and shit like that. She's her own leader. Just like how, I think it was in season 1, Ned Stark was talking, well, it had to have been in season 1 since Ned Stark ass was dead in season 1. Ned Stark was talking to Arya about her being a maiden, a stereotypical woman, you know, you're just gonna get married off, and then Arya was just like, girl, that's not me, and she walked away. So that was kind of parallel like that, even though that was a stupid ass shit that y'all, because that would have confused my ass if I did not watch the inside the episode shit, because that was obviously Nymeria. And here comes the scene for your life. Yara and the Queen of Dawn, they ass over here flirting. Yara had opened up the motherfucking legs, bitch. And Queen of Dawn said, bitch, oh, I'm a foreign invasion is coming in your pussy, honey. What's the tea? Theon, you gonna save her? You gonna be your protector? Girl, no ma'am. What's gonna happen is a bunch of fiery ass hell is gonna come from from Euron Greyjoy's ship and have you hoes shook just when y'all about to eat each other pussy, bitch. Y'all thought y'all about to 69? No ma'am. 911 is what y'all about to do, bitch. You need to dial somebody. Y'all hoes ain't have no technology. You couldn't even let Daenerys know, bitch, that her ships were getting fucked the fuck up. We all knew this was gonna happen because the episode name was Stormborn, and Daenerys was being born during a storm while Targaryen ships were being smashed, okay? And now that parallel is happening now with Euron's just smashing the fuck out of all his niece and nephew's motherfucking ships and shit like that. It was a sickening ass fight. We had sand snakes over here dying. We had people being held captive, bitch, and at the end, Euron Greyjoy had motherfucking y'all like this, bitch. What's the tea? He told Theon, come get her, bitch. Come get her. If you bad, bitch, if you think you all that, come get this bitch. Come get this hoe, bitch. And Theon had said, bitch. I said, oh shit. I said, oh fuck. He said, bitch, it was Reek. Reek is back in business, bitch. Just when you thought Reek was out of here, Reek has returned to let you hoes know that this triggering shit, this battle with people getting their limbs cut off and throats slashed and tongues cut out their motherfucking mouth, this shit is too triggering, and it brought him back to when Ramsay was really torturing his ass and he could not deal. He could not deal, bitch. He said, with liberty and justice for all, like Lady Gaga Super Bowl, for all, and just bitch. He came down there, dropped, bitch. He dropped into the ocean, bitch, and said, I thought he killed himself, but no, he's still alive. This shit is gonna be interesting. And Yara had known that shit was gonna happen. She said, oh fuck, here he go. And he just jumped off. It was just too triggering for his ass. I just don't know how merciful they'll be to him when they realize that he, you know, fled from battle. That shit is not cute. They are, you know, Game of Thrones world is all about honor and shit like that. It will be interesting to see if Yara survives. I don't think she will, because in the description for the next episode, it says that Cersei returns a gift. Say what you want about Cersei, but that strategy, she is dragging, she is reading. This dragon killer weapon that they have actually has me very shook. I do think a dragon's gonna die next episode, or at least an episode after that. I think that the battle at Casterly Rock might be happening next episode or the episode after that. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I will be here next Sunday to get my life and get yours as well, in hopes that none of our favorite characters will lose theirs. Have a good goddamn evening.